Hi there, how you going? Welcome to the latest edition of the Simic Report. We're into the month of July 2020, the financial year 1920, all wrapped up, done and dusted. I'll tell you what, who would have thought the second half of the financial year would go the way that it has gone? You definitely wouldn't have thought that in the first 6 months of the financial year or the back end of last year.
Yeah.
So a lot of information, a lot of data to go through. So what we're going to do, we're going to dive straight into property management, and then we'll hand it over to sales and we'll do our traditional financial year stats on my side of the world. So what's happening, Brenda?
Thanks, Dennis. So we just wanted to talk about the leasing side of how, I guess, the COVID-19 has impacted leasing. It actually hasn't. So out there in the media, there is a lot of talk about how prices have significantly dropped in the rental market, but we're actually finding that it actually has been quite stable. So the rental prices haven't dropped. What we have found is that tenants that are currently living in properties have obviously negotiated on a rental reduction, but it hasn't affected any prices in the actual market when it comes to reletting the property. So we found that the prices have actually remained the same, which has been really good.
So the open market, if property came to market, we're achieving the same rental amounts that what it was rented for 12 months ago. You haven't seen a shift in those prices. I think one of the significant things and why our marketplace in the East hasn't been impacted as much as, say, other marketplaces, I think, say, the Gold Coast or touristy suburbs or regions, has been the influx of Airbnb properties coming to market.
Yep.
There isn't a significant number of Airbnb properties in the inner East, and these are owners that obviously, because of COVID, have been impacted and now putting their properties onto the long-term leases. Long-term's in their mind, not in our world. 6 and 12-month leases are standard. We haven't had that influx, therefore the oversupply, so our prices have been quite stable.
Correct,
We've actually had a couple of instances I've seen the last few weeks where they've gone to market higher than what they were listed for previously and actually achieving those numbers, which is interesting because you won't be reading that in the media.
No, definitely. And we're also finding that we are having a lot of tenants inquiring on our properties, multiple applications as well. So that, I guess, is proof in how the market is, which is really good, and it's definitely positive.
Yep.
We aren't, I guess, in the next few months finding a decline in rental prices. We are finding that they are going to be and remain the same. If anything, maybe we can do a slight increase, and that's obviously supply and demand as well.
Yeah, it's driven by that.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Let's dive into the sales thing. I always get excited about the month of July every year, year on year. Let's stick with tradition and let's talk about the boutique market that is the inner East and the evidence that supports the marketplace that we work in and that boutique high-end blue chip suburb that I made reference to. So what I traditionally do every July is dive into the month, the core area suburbs that we look after in the inner East, and what the highest sale has been through the calendar, or not the calendar year, the financial year. So these are sales that have sold from July 1 to June 30 this year, so July 1, 2019 to June 30, 2020. Now let's roll through these suburb by suburb. I've got the glasses on because there's a lot of numbers to punch through, but it's always stirs the queries and the questions and the text messages when I start rattling off these street names and suburbs. So let's dive straight into our home base, Morningside. Highest sale for the financial year, 114 Stephen Street over at Morningside, selling for $1,710,000. So fantastic result for a property there. Ironically, every sale in here is a house. I'll also make mention to what the medium price point is for each suburb. So the medium now for Morningside sits at $837,500. Over to Cannon Hill, the suburb going through fantastic growth. High sale, 22 McKee Crescent over at Cannon Hill. That is in within the new Manipi Parklands estate. That's selling for $1,270,000 with a median now of $720,000. Over to Murray, over in the Park Hill estate, 18 Emerald Street at Murray, selling for $1,300,000 even, with a median price point now at $643,000. Murray, very much a distinct one side of Creek Road versus the other with a median price point, but collectively $643,000 median. Over at Seven Hills, fantastic result this one. Number 14, Majestic Outlook over at Seven Hills, as mentioned, $1,810,000. So fantastic result there. Median now sitting at $900 even. So some amazing results. Over to Norman Park, this is a house. It is within the Norman Ridge establishment. There's a number of units and townhouses and some riverfront homes. 102 of 90 Wynnum Road, which is a riverfront home, selling for $3.4 million with a median price point now at $842,000 over the entire suburb. Over to Hawthorn, 146 Virginia Avenue at Hawthorn, selling for $6,025,000. So fantastic result for that property there. Hawthorn's median price point now at $1,150,000 for a house. As we head over to Bulimba, nice big number this one here at 95 to 99, needs 2 street addresses this one. McConnell Street over at Bulimba, selling for $8.4 million in change. So fantastic result for Bulimba. Their median price point now at $1,280,000. So it just cements the inner east and the core marketplace and the suburbs that we look after here at Simic Estate Agents. So fantastic part of the world. The property prices are holding strong. COVID, obviously it's come through the marketplace, but it's just showing the strength in real estate and holding an asset and what it does even through the troubled waters that was coronavirus. And as we head into the winter months, we find the supply and demand numbers tend to favour the owners as far as getting prices because there isn't as many new properties coming to market. The supply, or the demand I should say, from purchasers is still there. So we tend to see even more records broken through the winter months, and then we head into the traditional spring selling period. So guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on board again for the latest edition of the Simic Report. We look forward to having a chat to you in the August edition. We'll see you then.
Thank
Cheers.
you.